Hi, this is Ed Nicholson from Carey Color. In this demo, we're going to walk the photography vendors through the basic user interface for Enterprise Solutions, or ES. If you haven't received a direct link from Media Services at Signet that brings you directly to the folder you need to interact with, you can come to es4.careyweb.com and use your provided login and password to access the system. Today we'll use Ogre Photography Studios as a guinea pig. So I'm going to sign in. And this is the basic structure that we have set up for you. You've got an image folder under Customers, Signet, Image Photography by Ogre, and then various folders inside that will be set up by Signet for you to place images into. We've gone ahead and made a few for the demo. You can double click the folder to see what's in there. And I went ahead and put a couple of images in here that in this column we see the document name, the revisions, which we'll come back to in a second, page notes, that it was uploaded by Ogre, and the date. Some basic stuff that's pretty simple to figure out. You can enlarge and reduce the size of the previews. You can view in gallery mode, and a couple of other things. We also have the upload feature over here that we're going to talk about. Let's look inside the Jared promotional folder by clicking it on the left over here. I've got a picture of my dog, and we're going to open that up in the viewer by double clicking it. And we can see that Ryan Sawyer, color expert extraordinaire at Signet, has put a comment on here. I can't believe he ate the whole thing. Please lighten the shadows some. And there's a small checkbox here. So you can see that if you were to go ahead and make that correction by lightening the shadow in Photoshop, you could then click that it has been done and upload your revision. This small blue X in the upper right hand corner closes this viewer mode and gets us back out into the folder hierarchy. Inside of lifestyle photography, I've thrown a picture of some cookies my wife took a picture of. And we can see that in this software, when you upload an image, go ahead and upload the high-res Photoshop documents. There's no need to compress anything. The software is able to show you quite a bit of detail because it's a pixels on demand sort of thing. So they still load very fast in the viewer, and it only draws in the pixels as you need them. You can zoom here. Double clicking will also recenter the image within the window. We can rotate and do a few other things. There's a densitometer provided so that, and regardless of the color space, it'll read RGB, it'll also read CMYK. So you can take some readings if you needed to. I'm going to click off of that up here to get that to disappear. Actually, I'm going to exit out to get it to disappear. And you can annotate with either a pencil tool by drawing on things. Let's see, select that here. And then you could add a comment. This shade good for grays. Anything that you like. Also, we can annotate corrections by dropping a pin, and this is the mode that I use most often to communicate back and forth. Click annotate, drop a pin right onto the image where you want it. Let's say right here, and let's say Barb. Should we make these less peach, more red? Let's say it was a Valentine's promotion. And that note will basically ride along with this image for the life of the image within the system. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this image, and let's talk about uploading images. I have a small icon over here in the upper right corner. It's a black folder with an up arrow on it. Click that, which will open a widget. Unfortunately, you cannot drop an entire folder into the widget. It'll act like you can, but it'll bomb out. But you can upload multiple images as long as they're not tucked into folders. So there's something to remember. I'm just going to upload this picture of my daughter, who recently, for her 16th birthday, decided to get her hair dyed kind of a wild color. And there it is. I'm going to go ahead and open that image in the viewer. We can see her there. Go ahead and X out of that. All right, now I have another browser open with Brenda Kovac logged in. So imagine she's back here at Signet, and you can see that her folder updated in real time to reveal the image that we just uploaded as Ogredeck. So if she was viewing this image and wanted to make a correction, she could log in here and say, wow, pretty intense color. Let's reduce the saturation by 50%. And again, I'm going to call your attention to this small checkbox here. I'm going to close that out, and we'll go back to the Ogredeck view. And if I refresh this page, we should notice a small icon right here under Page Notes. And it also appears in the title bar of the image. This lets me know that somebody has annotated a change or made a notation on the image. So if I was back at Ogredeck Studios, I could see that Brenda has asked me to make this correction. So God forbid we'd ever use preview to make a correction, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just for the sake of this demo, for speed's sake. Let's go ahead and reduce that. Just pretend I'm using Photoshop. And I'll go ahead and save that and close it. And I'm going to put a check here, click this checkbox to indicate that I have made the correction. I'm going to close the viewer window. And now I will upload the image right on top. Well, how do you do that? Well, just as long as it's the same name, it'll be loaded into the system as a revision. And we'll let it go through its preview generation, and you'll notice that it says 2 of 2 here up in the title bar, and it also says 2 of 2 here under revision. Let's have a look at what the revision looks like in the viewer. Down here in the lower left-hand corner is a Revisions tab. If I click on that, I have the option of viewing the original or viewing the corrected one that we just uploaded. And there's a pretty neat feature here where I can compare the two. So let's view them side by side. Alright, we can see the new one is over here on the left and the old one is on the right, and we have desaturated the image. We can also overlay the images, which gives us a slider bar in the center so that we can move this back and forth and see the correction. And everybody's least favorite way to view, Analyze, which shows us a sort of gamut pixel level that has changed, and that's not very fun to look at. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back by clicking back down here to the current version. Looks good. We're going to go ahead and X out of this window. And at this point, you could either email Signet to let them know that you have made the change and uploaded your revision, or they will also be notified automatically, but you should probably go ahead and once any project is done and you've made all of the revisions, send an email off to someone at Signet to let them know that it's been done. All right, let's cover one final thing, or actually two. We'll talk about downloading images, but before we do, I want to talk about what would it take for us to upload an image directly onto this picture if the image we were uploading has got a different name now. Some studios work by adding revision 1, revision 2, revision 3 to the file as they make corrections, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and simulate that. I'm going to go over here and put an R1 at the end of this image to indicate that it's a revision. Well, if I upload this directly, what will happen is it will not create a revision. It'll just add another image, of course, into the folder, and that's not what we want. We want this image to go directly on top of this image as a revision. So what we need to do is simply click on this image, right-click, and select Upload on Selected Page. And what that will do is place it right directly on top. So here we should see this go to 3 of 3. Okay, it worked. Right here we can see that that revision has now been uploaded on top, even though it has a different name. So that's kind of handy. All right, let's talk about downloading images. You can download these images to your hard drive, assuming that maybe somebody at Signet had sent something back to you or uploaded an image that they wanted some sort of correction made on. You could download it by selecting the image and right-clicking again, select Download Document, and it'll download it to wherever you have your download folder set up on your computer. You can also download entire folders at one time. So you cannot upload an entire folder at one time, but you can download one. So if I choose to download this folder, it'll create a folder right here with both images in it on my desktop. That's about all I can think of for now. There will be other videos coming, and definitely if you have any questions, contact Media Services at Signet, and they will get a hold of me and we will troubleshoot it for you. Thanks very much.